This is what I see. All black. See if they light another candle.
Yo estoy buscando a mi marido, no lo encuentro, está muerto, pero no está. Yo quisiera que tú me ayudes a buscarlo.
For Franco, disturbing encounters in isolated places have always been central to his content. But one terrifying night forced him to reconsider everything. Many viewers already recognize him from his YouTube channel Franco TV, where he explores eerie and unsettling locations most people would never willingly visit. Known for his fearless attitude and fascination with the supernatural, Frank investigates haunted places, hoping to uncover mysteries that seem to blur the line between the living and the dead. According to local stories, restless spirits are believed to still wander the cemetery grounds, unable to move on. Over the years, visitors have reported hearing human-like voices echoing through the darkness, while others claim to see shadowy figures moving silently between gravestones. The cemetery has also been linked to strange nighttime ceremonies and possible dark rituals. Because of these unsettling stories, many locals avoid the area after sunset. But for Frank, that danger only made the mystery more compelling. Determined to uncover the truth, he returned to investigate what might still be hiding there. On September 1, 2024, Frank arrived shortly after nightfall. Darkness had already covered the cemetery, with only distant streetlights casting long shadows across the graves.
Because apparently this has been like a hot spot. It's a very famous witch that pretty much passed away, and people come to serve this area. And I want to see if they're even doing a ceremony now. Or tonight. I'm not going directly to it just yet because that looks like it was just lit. At least I think it is. I got more candles in here. Alright, before I go inside, I want to go around this place.
During an earlier visit, he encountered people performing what appeared to be a ritual. So this time, he carefully scanned the area to make sure nobody else was nearby. While candles inside a cemetery are not unusual, several appeared freshly lit, immediately making the atmosphere feel uneasy.
Because I have a feeling I got somebody yelling. Alright. I just got the sound of somebody yelling over here. I'm gonna come from this side over here. See, that's what I'm afraid of, man. I mean, I'm not expecting this place to be empty at any means. It will do good. I got something in the back there. I just saw what looked like a light. Slightly. Right there. I knew it. This is where I heard the scream coming from. I can't stick myself out. I'm gonna stick the camera out. What the hell are you doing? I'm gonna switch it to color. This is what I see. All black. See if they light another candle. That's one. The last time I was here, I saw like 7 people.
As he moved deeper into the graveyard, the tension steadily increased. In the distance, he noticed what appeared to be a lone figure, though he could not clearly identify it. The environment felt heavy and strangely watchful. Unsure what the figure might be doing, he changed direction to avoid confrontation. But the farther he walked, the more unsettling the situation became.
I'm gonna see if I can start staying a little bit more inside the tomb area, just so that way I'm not so obvious. So I am definitely hearing something. I'm still trying to see if I can see any lights or candles or anything for where I seen that person walking through here. And look right over there. I just saw something dark, and then they went right into the tomb. Look at the tomb. Look, you see it? There There is something or someone inside that tomb right now. They're just watching me, I think. I don't want to approach it because, one, I don't know what they're up to, and two, I don't know how many people are in there. And that is a head. I'm hoping it comes out a little bit more. So I am now approaching the area where I seen that kid. What's the creepiest part is that this whole area in the back is known for deceased children, the children that passed away. So to see a kid running through there like nothing at that specific area to this graveyard kind of freaked me out.
Then, without warning, a faint sound broke the silence, a child laughing somewhere in the darkness.
I hear what sounds like a kid laughing. I want to see if you guys can hear it. Hold on. What is that? You see? Hear it? Look. Oh, that is so creepy.
The sound was distant, yet clear enough to immediately send a chill through him. Frank stopped and listened carefully, but moments later, the cemetery became silent again. With only the faint hum of the nearby city in the background, he continued forward, unaware that the most disturbing moment was still ahead.
I really feel like I'm being watched right now. Down this area. I'm gonna keep making my way forward. I hate this area. This area is by far the creepiest for me. Oh, what the? There's someone just leaning up right there against the wall. I was not fucking expecting that. That scared the shit out of me. I'm probably not gonna go up that way. All black. I was wearing all black. That looked like a shadow.
Soon afterward, he noticed a woman sitting completely motionless against a wall of tombstones. She did not react or move at all, and her presence felt unnatural. The stillness alone made the moment deeply unsettling. Despite his discomfort, Frank kept moving, hoping to reach another section of the cemetery. Instead, the decision seemed to pull him deeper into the unknown.
It's definitely coming from this area. Oh my God.
¿Qué haces acá?
Yo estoy mirando para fantasmas grabando.
Pero acá nadie puede entrar de noche.
Yo tiene permiso para una muchacha.
Sí, es peligroso, acá roba.
Sí, pero ¿qué tú estás haciendo aquí?
Yo estoy buscando a mi marido, no lo encuentro, está muerto, pero no está. Yo quisiera que tú me ayudes a buscarlo.
¿Tu esposo?
Ajá.
¿Dónde?
No lo encuentro.
¿Él está caminando por aquí o está...?
Está muerto, pero no está. Yo vivo acá.
Ya.
Vivo acá. Nadie puede entrar acá de noche. Es muy peligroso. Tienes que irte porque acá pasa una maldición para ti.
No, sí, no quiere problemas, nada así.
Vete, antes que te hagan algo.
Ya, no te preocupes. Ya está, gracias. She's just staring at me. Ya, no, solamente soy confundido. Sí, ya, gracias. I am so confused for what the hell just happened right now. She just came out of nowhere and told me to get out. And that sounded like the same lady that I seen the last time where she was like, Niño. I don't know, she said something last time, but she said she was looking for her husband. I'm looking for my husband, but now he's not there. Did he just wander off? No, he's dead. And I'm like, so how are you looking for your husband? And it looked like she kind of got irritated or upset at me. Oh my God. I'm just trying to investigate in this area. And she scared the shit out of me.
Eventually, the tension became overwhelming. Frank decided to leave shaken by everything he had experienced. The laughter, the silent figure, and the eerie presence of others all suggested that something felt deeply wrong about the cemetery. If you were in that situation, would you stay to uncover the truth, or leave before it became too late? Casey Anderson is the explorer behind the YouTube channel Endless Venture. He is recognized for traveling through remote locations and documenting real outdoor adventures. In March 2026, one of his expeditions took an unexpected turn during a camping encounter in Botswana's Okavango Delta, an area well known for its dense and dangerous wildlife.
Surround the fresh tracks of buffalo. And Kane says they're going to a place he calls Mapani Pan. Turns out that's where he planned on us staying the night tonight. They've earned the nickname Black Death. But turns out it's mostly the lone bulls, something that they call Dugga Boys, that are the most dangerous. But even the large herds can be dangerous in the right situation. We've got to remain cool and calm.
An important part of this trip was that he was not alone. Alongside him were a cameraman, a local guide, and a close friend. After arriving at their campsite, the group set up their tent and gathered near the fire. They talked about the risks posed by nearby wildlife, unaware they were already much closer to real danger than they realized.
Elephants are in camp, but we need to sleep next to a pan, which is the only water hole in the area. I think we can expect some visitors tonight.
During the night, strange noises briefly woke them. Fortunately, nothing happened at that moment. By morning, they continued deeper into the region, but what they came across next could have easily become fatal.
Brave lions. In the distance, we're trying to close the gap on them. Here, just on the other side of this bush. We got lions coming our way. There are 9 lions out there. Mostly lionesses, with a couple of young males. They've all spotted us in the bush and are slowly, deliberately stalking in closer. As this young male creeps in, you can see the rest of the pride lining up behind him. And while we're locked in on the male in front of us, another one quietly slipped in from behind. If you look over my shoulder in the shot, you can see all 9 lions. We are completely surrounded by a pride of African lions.
Being surrounded by a pride of lions is something few people would ever want to experience. If the lions had decided to attack, there would have been almost no chance of escape. Thankfully, the animals stayed calm and nobody was injured. It became one of the most intense wildlife encounters the group had ever experienced, and likely one they would never forget. Sometimes a situation can appear completely under control before suddenly changing. Things may feel calm in one moment only for small changes to shift everything. If you were standing that close, would you stay and keep watching or leave before the situation became far more dangerous? On October 24th, 2025, the YouTube channel Campion, known for quiet solo camping and wilderness survival, recorded a night in a remote forest during heavy rain. Alone among soaked ground and tall trees, Campion tried to create a comfortable space, carrying gear through mud and setting up a large canvas tent to wait out the storm. Outside, the rain kept falling. Inside, everything seemed under control. The setup was slow and careful. The white canvas tent went up piece by piece, changing a rough clearing into shelter. Inside, the atmosphere shifted. Rugs were placed down, furniture was arranged, and a wood-burning stove added warmth. Rain became background noise. The space felt safe. Then, the calm shattered. Without warning, a sudden blast erupted near the stove. The tent collapsed almost immediately as flames rushed upward, burning through fabric and gear, despite the heavy rain outside. When it was over, only smoke and silence were left. The tent was destroyed. Equipment lay charred across the forest floor. What stood out most wasn't the storm, but how fast one moment erased everything that had felt secure. Viewers focused on how one overlooked choice, not the storm, nearly turned comfort into something deadly. If survival can depend on timing alone, how often does danger go unnoticed until it is already too late? On September 6, 2025, the YouTube channel Madison Clydesdale documented a solo trip into the mountains of British Columbia. Traveling through remote wilderness with her dog Madison followed a route she was familiar with. Knowing experience means little in terrain like this.
I've already stepped in some mud. I'm starting my navigation on my watch, so it'll let me know if I go off track from my pre-planned route, and it'll just keep me honest with how many kilometers I'm doing, what my elevation gain is, and if I get lost, I can retrace my steps. In a survival situation, you could survive off this fresh water. I would boil it first because you could get giardia, or filter it somewhere. And with all these berries, I could go a few days on just these berries alone. I've got my bear spray accessible, ready to be pulled out. These purple flowers are fireweed, and the flowers are edible. They're really nice in tea. We're a little bit late in the season, nearing the end of August, so their leaves kind of look like a maple leaf with some extra ridges. They look like thorns on the stems, but they're not sharp. There's been lots of streams, and I'm carrying about 2 liters for Kiro and 2 liters for myself, so I think I might dump his water. He has no problem drinking out of these streams. This feels wrong. If I were a bear, this is where I'd hang out. Hey bear! Got huckleberries to my left and to my right. Bit of an open field. Keeping an eye out for bear scat, but I haven't found any yet, which is good. Silent here. Hey bear! Always, always bring an extra pair of socks. It's basically a marshy bog. I could have gone around it, but then I'd be bushwhacking through some pretty dense bushes, so better off to just bring an extra pair of socks. I'll sleep in them tonight and I'll hike out in them tomorrow. I always wear wool socks as well because those are quick drying. Well, that's slightly inconvenient, isn't it? Hey bear!
As the hike continued, she stayed alert. A sudden noise from dense brush interrupted the silence. In grizzly country, even movement you cannot see feels serious. Madison stopped, kept her dog nearby, and continued making noise to avoid accidentally surprising something much larger nearby.
I made it to the top. This lake is so much more beautiful, which I didn't know was possible. Now we just gotta get down there. Look at those mountainscapes. Wow. We have a runaway dog. I repeat, a runaway dog. Okay, I guess I'll meet him down there. I made it to the lake. I think I see a spot over there that I can set up camp. I just have to get over this boulder field. There's a creek coming down the mountain and it's probably good fishing there. I can see fish jumping. I found camp. We're on a little peninsula. Oh my gosh, I'm so dead. Kiro has cut himself. I need to get my first aid out right now. I think his dew claw got stuck on a rock. I had a look and it seems to just have broken a nail and his dew claw didn't actually rip off, thank goodness. There's not much we can do about it right now besides clean it out in the lake and rest. I think hiking out and getting it all dirty would make it worse, plus it'd be after hours. Like, I don't think he needs to go to the vet for it. And at this point we wouldn't get back till dark, so I'm pausing my activity. 13,500 steps, over 2,000 calories burned, and over 2,000 meters elevation.
After reaching camp beside the lake, the situation briefly settled until she discovered her dog's paw bleeding likely hurt during the rocky ascent. With nobody else around, she cleaned the injury and slowed the pace.
You hear a bird out there? We are cozy in bed. It's about to get really dark out here. I feel like some people wonder why I do this alone or why you would want to. One, when I moved here, I just didn't know anyone. My mom introduced me to backpacking, and when she wasn't available, I was like, I'll go by myself, because that's what she did when no one was available. Also, there's just something that pushes you out of your comfort zone being by yourself. Although I am going to be looking into this forest all night. Another night, we didn't become a bear burrito. Successful mission. How would you sleep? Oh. You hungry? Okay, good job. Oh no, you shouldn't be running. Wow, beautiful morning. Go. Bear bag's in great shape. It actually does look like it has some bite marks. Can you see those? Those are definitely bite marks from rodents or something, but they couldn't get into it. My energy levels are a little low. I need to eat something.
As darkness arrived, food was hung away from the campsite. The next morning, bite marks and torn fabric revealed that an animal had reached the bag overnight. Something had come near the camp without ever being seen.
Fish on! Woohoo! It's a beautiful rainbow trout. Okay, we gotta get him back. Bugs are getting bad again. Don't forget to resume your activity. Make sure we didn't leave anything behind. When I don't backpack for a while, I get bruises on my hips. I'm gonna have the backpack put on properly, but does anyone else get that? Can you get over that stick? Why is your toenail bleeding like that? It was healed. What happened? My gosh. Stay. Can you stand up? Oh. This is Leuco tape, and I'm gonna put this over the gauze to try and get it to stay. Okay, Kiro, can you come? We just gotta get through these rocks and then it'll be smooth sailing. A lot of dog owners get their dew claws removed. I was 18 when I got Kiro, which is no excuse, and we went 10 full years without any injuries, but yeah, I guess that's a lesson learned. Mistakes happen out here, accidents happen out here. The important thing is you know how to react. Wilderness first aid, or at least watching YouTube videos on first aid, is very important before you go out here, because no one thinks they're gonna get hurt until they do. I think what happened was the pad on his paw got cut. Good job, buddy. We did it.
What disturbed many viewers most wasn't what appeared on camera, but what stayed hidden. In places like this, How do you judge danger when nothing ever fully reveals itself? In their latest disturbing investigation, YouTuber Jared Barrett, known online as Bear, and his wife Tiff returned to a road feared by many locals. Often referred to as Murder Road, the area carries a reputation connected to violent crime, illegal activity, and stories of bodies hidden in the surrounding woods. Some believe multiple victims were never found. Their goal was to reach the lakeside location where the first reported victims, 2 people allegedly shot by a hidden gunman, were said to have been discovered.
It looks creepy, doesn't it?
Who wants to go into that?
We're about to go into that.
I thought coming during the day wouldn't be so scary, but now it's just a big black hole.
Well, you didn't make it this far last time. You didn't get to see the big black hole last time.
This is less scary with a little bit of light.
No, it is for sure. I like getting places with daylight.
I don't think I could do the big black hole.
We're going in it.
What?
We're going right in. Did you just hear a voice? That sounded like a girl's voice.
Oh my gosh.
That was
It's coming from the big black hole.
that was a scream.
Yes, it was.
Scream. Big black hole. Murder Road.
The trip began shortly before sunset as they approached what Jared called the Black Hole, a completely dark stretch of road leading deep into the forest. Not long after entering the woods, they started hearing distant sounds, faint voices, and what Tiff believed was a scream coming from the darkness. Although uneasy, they continued forward while flashlights cut through the trees. Jared also remembered a previous visit where he had seen a man silently walking through the forest without any light, a memory that increased the tension. As darkness deepened, a sudden yell echoed through the woods, followed minutes later by a distant gunshot. Tiff became visibly uncomfortable and wanted to leave, but Jared encouraged continuing in hopes of locating reflective markers.
Man, I do keep hearing voices though. I just heard it again. Did you hear that? Yeah. I mean, it sounds like it's off in the distance. So, voices and
Jerry.
there was a scream right after that.
Nope, I'm done. A gunshot?
Yeah, but we got one too. And that was far off as well.
I mean, bullets go fast, though.
Well, that's true, but I mean, that sounded like... I'm not too worried about that yet. If it starts getting closer, like we see the flash from the muzzle, then it's really time to get scared.
No, I mean...
Huh? Okay, no, we'll get scared before that. You're right. It's probably better to get scared before that.
That investigators were rumored to have attached to trees near suspected body dump sites. Soon, another gunshot sounded, this time much closer. The couple briefly argued about whether they were heading toward danger. Jared believed the shots were unrelated to them, while Tiff pointed out that the original victims had reportedly been killed by a sniper hidden in the hills. The tension worsened when they noticed what appeared to be a faint light deep in the forest. Jared attempted to record it, but the glow vanished almost immediately. With no nearby vehicles and no clear reason for anyone else to be there, the sight deeply unsettled them.
Look. Give me the camera. Take my light.
I will take what?
Take my light. To put the lights down. Where'd they go? You see that back there, babe?
There's a light.
There is.
What the hell?
There's a light back there. There's no cars here, babe.
People here.
I know.
You guys. Jerry.
Hold on. We're okay. I want to get that light on camera better. Where'd it go? Do you see it? The light went out. I don't see it no more.
Jerry. No.
What do you mean?
I'm done. You're getting closer to the gunshot.
That was a lot closer. But I mean, it's not like aimed towards us, you know?
How do you know that?
Because they'd be closer.
Oh my gosh. You don't have to be close to...
No, the first 2 people were killed by a sniper.
Oh my gosh. I'm done.
What?
Nope. Done.
As the search continued, Jared explained that investigators once used reflectors to mark possible dump sites for easier identification later. He scanned the woods while threatening sounds filled the area, distant voices, shifting wind, and occasional gunfire. Tiff admitted she no longer felt safe and even Jared started questioning whether continuing was a good idea.
We haven't even made it out the forest yet. We gotta look for reflectors where the bodies were found. What's that behind me? Is that a reflector back there? Shine your light back here real quick, babe. Look, right back here. You see a reflector?
What's a reflector?
So like the FBI and the detectives and stuff, they marked some of the body areas with reflectors, so when they come back, they could find it easy in the forest. So that's another thing we're going to be doing while we're walking, is we're going to shine like out in the woods, babe, and try to find these reflectors where the bodies were actually at.
There are people screaming and yelling and gunfire.
Yeah. I think we're okay, though.
No, I'm not okay.
I'm not too worried about it yet.
Oh my gosh, Jerry.
Well, okay. Can we go a little further? To look for the... I haven't been combing for the things yet.
See, this is what I mean.
What?
They never confirmed finding any reflectors, but they did capture an overwhelming sense of dread and the feeling that something remained hidden just beyond sight. Eventually, they decided to leave, ending the investigation with both relief and lingering fear. The voices, gunshots, and strange lights may have had reasonable explanations. Distant hunters' echoes carried through the terrain, or reflections mistaken for lights. At the same time, the road's violent history and the couple's fear likely influenced how they interpreted everything around them. The possibility of encountering dangerous people in the area also could not be ignored, given the location's reputation. So what do you think was truly happening that night on Murder Road? Ordinary sounds and coincidences, or something much darker? And if you had been there, would you have continued deeper into the woods or turned back after the first gunshot? Uploaded to the channel Pandemonium. This video describes a disturbing experience during a road trip across Oregon. The creator had left a peaceful campsite and continued toward another destination, enjoying quiet highways and scenic views along the drive. But as dark storm clouds rolled in and lightning appeared in the distance, the mood began to change.
Welcome to historic Baker City, established in 1874. Exits 306 and 304. Yeah, looks like we're getting ready to come into some rain up here. I see a downspout houseboat in front of Terry and Scott. Looks weird. I thought it was an RV at first. Don't litter. Max fine $6,250. Wow, that's a steep fine. The roads look pretty clean, so I guess it works. Here comes the rain. Rain, rain, rain. Up a steep hill we go in the rain. It seems we're turning away from the storm, hopefully. I don't know, the storm's kind of everywhere.
After hearing reports from friends about golf ball-sized hail hitting a nearby campground, the creator chose to avoid the danger and spend the night parked in a Walmart lot instead. At first, the stop felt completely normal. While relaxing inside the RV with the door open, the creator suddenly heard a man repeatedly calling out the names David and Shay. The voice started faintly from a distance, but slowly moved closer.
I think a big storm is headed this way. I just heard lightning and it's getting really dark over there. Terry and Scott are at the campground and they just dealt with like this size hail. So I don't think I'm going to be going to that camp spot. I don't know if I want to stay here at this Walmart. Here. And not to mention, I just had something happen to me. So I heard this guy calling a name. He said David and Shay. David and Shay. And he did it multiple times. And I noticed the sound getting closer to my rig. And I was like, well, that's odd. My door was wide open. And I was laying in bed fiddling on my phone. So I got out of my bed and I stayed quiet. And I noticed the voice got really close to my door and yelled out, David, Shay. And so I started walking quietly to the front, and then they said it one more time, and they were standing right at my door, and I was like, can I help you? And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, I was looking for my friends, this rig looks like theirs. And I'm thinking to myself, this rig looks like theirs, but I didn't say anything at the time. But I haven't seen any rig that looks like Panda. I'm sorry. I don't know how you could mistake this rig for one of your friends. So I call bullcrap on that.
Until it was directly outside the RV. Moments later, the man appeared at the doorway. He quickly explained that he believed the RV belonged to friends, though the explanation immediately seemed suspicious. The creator pointed out that her RV looked very different from the others nearby, making the excuse difficult to believe. Adding to the discomfort, the man carried a backpack, and his appearance suggested he may have been transient or possibly searching for valuables. Although he eventually walked away without causing problems, the encounter left the creator feeling exposed and uneasy. She later admitted that she briefly considered staying silent to see what the stranger would do, but ultimately chose to respond a choice that may have stopped the situation from becoming more serious. At the same time, the storm outside continued growing stronger.
Anyways, he said, well, I'm sorry, and he walked away immediately. He was wearing a backpack, and I don't know if he was homeless or not. There are some, you can tell there are some homeless in this area, but I don't know if he was. It just struck me as weird, and I really think he was trying to steal my rig or steal the belongings in my rig, because, I mean, I don't see anybody having the same rig as Panda. I mean, come on, really? That was the worst lie he could come up, or excuse he could come up with. But, I mean, you know, I was going to stay quiet and see what he did, but then I was like, oh, do I want to get involved in that kind of drama? So I said, no, I'll say, can I help you, and see what he says. And he made an excuse and walked away. So, in that storm, there's a huge thunderstorm coming this way, so I don't know if I want to stay here or not. Not to mention, that did make me feel uneasy and a bit weary of this spot.
Thunder moved closer, lightning repeatedly lit the sky, and concerns about flash flooding and dangerous wind added even more stress. After considering the conditions, the creator decided to remain in the Walmart parking lot rather than continue driving through worsening weather in a vehicle not designed for rough terrain. The encounter may have been an innocent misunderstanding, but the timing and strange explanation suggested otherwise. It is possible the man simply needed shelter, yet the way he approached, slowly getting closer while repeatedly calling out names until reaching the door, raised obvious concerns. Combined with the storm exhaustion and the vulnerability of sleeping in public, the situation showed how quickly a peaceful evening can begin to feel unsafe. What do you think? Was the man actually confused, or were the names only an excuse to check whether someone was inside the RV? And in the same situation, would you have answered him directly or stayed silent to see what happened next?